So recently, there's been this funky thing called the presidential election, and one of those things that recently occurred is a fun little 90-minute entertainment special where the two candidates got on and they did their best acting, their best performances, a little bit of singing even.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat.
Honestly, they killed it. Great performance. Loved it. Because obviously a debate is what should really be determining a presidential election.
Very unfair.
I feel like it used to not be this way. It's kind of just become a fun little thing. I feel like most Americans now just look forward to it almost because for the next content drop, it's like waiting for the new dance in Fortnite, but instead it's eating cats and dogs or talking about having a concept of a plan, which is always fun. It makes for some good TikTok feed and memes just coming through for the week after. But it really feels like there's something being missed. There's an integral part that maybe there should be a little bit more going into actually determining who's going to be the head of our country. Really, it should be something closer to a court, where we're the jury standing there and be like ba da and you know, getting all feisty and making decisions, but that doesn't happen. Mostly because it's just whatever flies. There's kind of a new meta where it's just kind of purely appealing to emotion, not putting a lot of logic into it, and slinging out lies and baits throughout the thing to get the other person to either be ticked off or to defame the other person. Here's a lovely example of how I honestly felt like if you didn't watch the debate, here you go. I summed it up for you. It's literally a minute, fits into TikTok. For all of you low attention span boys and girls, it's right here. I did it. You don't have to watch the debate now. 89 minutes saved. Sorry about that. Almost miscalculated. Hi everyone, welcome to the first 2024 presidential debate. We have two great, wonderful candidates here ready to answer some questions. Let's see them. What will you do for the economy? You're a no-good Marxist, feminist, fascist, optimist, ist. Well, I'm hope, and you're hopeless and crowdless. You wanna know what ist I am? Richest. I have concepts of crowds. I have concepts. You and I aren't so different, you know. I should give you my hat. Don't mind if I do. I mean, of course, that's not to say there isn't some positives. There is an idea of character that comes from this. There is some policy that gets stated and said. In this format, it is oftentimes hard to fact check whenever there is context given to the policy, which I feel like really is a detriment to this format. That's why obviously we need the court cases where it's just it can go on for days. and both sides have every single fact thing, and we're just sitting there and it's just a 24-hour live stream. I mean, hey, streamers do it. Why can't two president-elects do it? I'd really help clear some policy issues and help maintain some order, I would think, in these debates. Sadly, I think a lot of it is due to the sensationalization of it. It's a lot easier to run on quips and quick little things. I've actually been quite amazed at how many individuals have just kind of ran with the whole eating cats and dogs thing. and actually like taking it as a badge to wear. It's like, yeah, I believe this, and it's like, okay, cool. It's not what I thought. And I think a lot of that comes from just how much division is out there. It's kind of gotten to the point that in these debates, no matter what the other person says, it's immediately just written off. There's no way that that's right. They're lying. It's rigged. There's not a single bit of thought going out towards what the other person's saying, and that isn't good. Surprisingly, I know. You tickle me shocked, you know.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
You have so many viewers coming on to these debates, and I mean, a lot of it is because it's a show. It's quick. It only takes a little bit of their time out. And yeah, if you have this long, drawn-out thing going over every single policy, every single fact-checking, and making sure that there is pure objectivity, then I think people would just get bored in the minutia of things, because people want to hear those just quick one-line things, and that's where I think policy gets lost in either the crazies and the outright lies, and either the more appealing to emotion, the idea of hope, the idea, and just kind of branding yourself as the hope campaign versus the stinky old man campaign. When in all honesty, the change in hope that you're saying isn't much different than what was before. It's just, instead of a senile old man in both categories, it's just now in one category. Policy didn't change, still the same in whichever one you vote for. All that, I mean, honestly comes down to some of the policy on both sides being very similar now, on whether it's the border issue. A lot of it is taken of the lesser evil is a notion that I've seen a lot of, which it's better to have the lesser evil, but it just stinks that there isn't a better alternative to the lesser evil, like maybe a really good. That'd be pretty neat, pretty awesome. Because now there's no one's really gonna be splitting, but the few small little, maybe 10% of Americans in the middle that are being fought over. A lot of people, I think, would have a hard time just because there's already misconceptions, and everyone would just need to go and take like economics 101 from college, and even then, I don't know, you might need a little more to really get if you really sat down with the policy of like, this is what's going to happen. Because the thing is that people can sit there and promise money, and it's going to get so much love. A lot of how presidents will oftentimes boost the economy, they'll do really good short-term things that in the long term are actually really bad. And it's like if you had a whole thing of cookies, and you're like, okay, now you could have these cookies and always have cookies for the next 12 days if you eat one cookie per day, okay? And your parents try to make sure you only eat a cookie a day, and then you don't eat a cookie a day. Instead, you're like, wow, they're really yummy warm. Why don't I just eat them warm? And so then you eat 12 cookies in one day, and then you feel really sick, and then you don't get cookies for another 12 days. You know, now in some instances, some of you bad boys and girls out there will go and get more cookies. You'll get 12 more stinking cookies the next day. And some presidents do that too, and that's how we get inflation, when they start printing money. I guess the inflation alternative, if you eat 12 cookies a day, is inflation to your body, because eating 12 cookies a day would not be healthy. Actually, there'd be deflation in your life expectancy, because your body just wouldn't. That's not a healthy thing to do. Coming from someone who really would love to do that, because cookies are my favorite dessert, I don't suggest it. I keep normally max. I cap at about 6 cookies a day. Well, not per day. Like if they're made. Like if cookies are made. If I make cookies, I limit myself when they're warm. It's just the half of the dozen. Okay, this is irrelevant. Anyways, I think that minutia, people would get stuck in it, and I think oftentimes people wouldn't understand even then. And this has been an issue since the founding, and it's gotten better. I think as a whole, the voter base is more educated than ever, or at least within the past couple decades, I would say we've kind of hit that. Compared to before, where a lot of people just weren't even literate, and so there might have been a degree of concern of, oh, they don't know what to vote for because they're not educated. When now, hopefully, people can be educated, and I strongly encourage people to try to get educated on this, as while it can be something that's very daunting and scary, looking at everything going on in the world, just because you don't want to think about it. It's easier to live life. I know for me, it's really easy to live life, but my anxiety won't let me. And so instead, I like looking stuff up. I like finding out things. Sometimes it stresses me out. It's like, holy cow, I'm literally just a human being. What the heck am I going to do about this crazy violation to human rights over this quadrant of the world and this quadrant of the world? What the heck do I do? And I think the ultimate is just being conscious, understanding, just trying to grow, listen to people, try to gauge people, because ultimately, even when someone's spouting something crazy that they might believe, it's coming from somewhere and there's a reason for it. And it's something that instead of looking at them and be like, haha, big dumb idiot dumb, it'd be much better to look at them and be like, you're in a tough spot where, in all honesty, you don't have the time probably to do the research. You're probably living paycheck to paycheck, or you're, because so many are, you probably just hear these very quick things. Someone's telling you they're bad, and you're hearing it, and you just kind of gotta go with it, because you feel like the world's against you. And if someone saying, hey, I'm gonna fight that world, and this is why, it makes it very easy to just kind of fall under that. So I think the next time is just being patient with whoever it is, and don't turn it into the debate like we saw. Instead make it a hours plural long court session. You can get all your family to be the jury. You can get a judge. I'm sure your family would love that at Thanksgiving. That would be great. I'm sure that's exactly what they want to do, is to be a jury to you and your weird uncle's hours long debate where you research and do everything you can possible. I'm sure they'd love that. That would make their Thanksgiving. So next time, just run a court and trial in court. Yep.